Learning a new language can be challenging. Many people consider Chinese to be the most difficult second language to master. Spoken by over 1 billion people in the world, many people would like to master Mandarin Chinese, but struggle to do so. Today, I'm going to share with you 7 tips on how to start mastering Chinese. Tip number 7. Use sticky notes or labels around the house. For example, put the word salt on your salt jar, sugar on your sugar jar. You can make it nice by printing the labels from your computer. For example, I have 2 identical jars. One is salt, one is sugar. Which one is what? You have to read the label. If you look at this one, on the left-hand side, mi for rice. The right-hand side is tang for the pronunciation. Together it makes one word, sugar. I will associate rice with sugar because they are both carbs. So this one is sugar. This one, on the other hand, is salt. Yan, tang. Sugar, tang, has the same pronunciation of Tang in the Tang Dynasty. Salt, yan, sounded like a person's name, Yan, except the intonation goes upward. Yan. Say the word inside your mind and out loud each time you use the salt from the salt jar. Have your brain to take a picture of the word. It will start to tie the new language to your established native language. Tip number 6. Visualize with flashcards. Take a flashcard with meaning on one side and the Chinese word on the other side, right next to the Chinese word. Create a drawing or a sketch of your own to help you remember. By using a flashcard, you're training your brain to retrieve the information you have stored without seeing the answer in front of you. This will assist in actually verifying you remember the word. Say the word. Point at the word in your native language and then Chinese. Each time you look at and test yourself with a flashcard, your brain will create a stronger, deeper impression and relationship to the word, transferring the information from the short to long-term memory. Tip number 5. Auditory and physical repetition. Say the words out loud as much as possible. When I was in China and I did my homework, I used to have to write each word at least 20 times each day. Students are required to say it out loud while we write the new words. I do that even when I'm at home by myself. By doing so, you will engage visual, hand or kinesthetic, and auditory sensory processing all at the same time. Tip number 4. Practice, practice, practice. Use the language whenever you can. Do not be afraid to make a fool out of yourself. Attempting to speak in a native language shows you care enough to try, and people respect that. If you go to a Chinese restaurant, try to greet the waiter and waitresses in Chinese. Try or order the food in Chinese or make small talks with them. Tip number 3. Study for last impressions. Study Chinese right before you go to bed. If you want to remember anything, make sure to study one last time right before bedtime. Be sure not to play video games, watch TV, or read a book after that. If you study, then go watch TV, video game, or movie right away. The information your brain stored in the short-term memory will be replaced by the new inputs from the other movie, games, text messaging. Each of these are excellent learning styles or modalities, which is why we utilize visual auditory and kinesthetic or hands-on for learning our new language. Tip number 2. Live learning. Immerse yourself. If you're able to visit China for a summer or find a roommate that speaks Chinese, have a study buddy or a friend you can teach them English and they can teach you Chinese. A lot of second-generation Chinese children struggle to learn Chinese at home with their parents. But one summer in China with their grandparents, they are fluent. Tip number 1. Remember, anything you don't use it, you lose it. Here's a true story of a family friend. She used to be a professor at a university, very articulate and knowledgeable. After she retired and she lost her husband, she decided to live in a remote area by herself. After 3 years of solitude, her language center became so weak she could barely talk when her colleague paid her a visit. She's literally forgotten her native language. Your language skill is like a muscle. It needs to be exercised and maintained. So use the language every opportunity you get. Apply these tips as often as you can in your learning, and you can excel in Chinese. Here is a bonus tip. Take advantage of the vast online resources. Check out my quick, easy, and free Chinese lessons on YouTube. I'll be going in depth with more of the methods of learning Chinese. Stay tuned.